Good evening, everyone. We should be all live and ready to go. I am just doing my double checks quickly and making sure that the audio level is all good to go. And it should be better. There we go. I can see the stream myself as well now. So now we at least know that we are in the correct screen. Welcome everyone to round number 1 for season 34 of PSGL. My name is Simon de Blanc and I will be one of your two commentators for this season of PSGL F4. Normally alongside me would be Brandon, the Irishman that you guys will all know very well. He's been in the scene here for a long time also, but he is not available today. So I will just be on my own for the first round of the season. I hope all the audio settings and other stuff are correct. If there are any things that you guys want me to change, please let me know, since I'm not the one that usually streams, but I might be doing that for the remainder of the season. So if you guys in the chat have any complaints, feel free to tell me those so I can change them and hopefully make them better for you guys' entertainment. Round 1 will be around Brazil. Of course, we know Brazil as a track that's extremely flowing, one of the most fun tracks and one of the closest tracks to drive, and I think it will be giving us a really good vision of how close this tier really is. Let's go on board with OP Fedespiga for the first lap of the PSGL F4 season. Coming in towards turn 1 here, you got the Senna S's here, turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. You want to catch as much as the inside possible of turn 2, and then you want to keep it short for turn number 3. Then you got the second DRS straight right here, but there can still be some overtakes made for the race. On a break there at the point where the grass ends. 69 is a very solid sector 1 there for Fedespiga. He has a lot of traffic on his right hand side. They're passing 4 cars before he goes into a quick corner where Hamilton crashed in qualifying a few years ago, ruining some of his chances to gain an even bigger lead over the championship in that period of time. Of course, Rappel wasn't the case at that moment just yet. Here is the corner where Albon, his podium hopes, got crushed by Lewis Hamilton. And now we've already passed the full-on middle sector, coming towards the second sector split. It's a 51-2-1-2 by Fedespiga, and it's only the final corner and then a straight right here. You can't really lose a lot, but you can still make or break your time, since a 10th around this track can really mean a lot. You want to keep it tight, and the first lap time in this season 34 F4 is Fedespiga with a 08.071. And then we got both the Alfa Romeos on a lap, but they have both invalidated, and a few guys have actually overtaken them, but I do believe that they are on out laps. Then the next car is, I was going to say it's Niels, but it's also not Niels. It will be ET8 Evil. This is a man that we have seen climbing up the tiers for a long time now. Let's see what lap time he can do. He can mix himself up. The 8 thousandths of a second difference between Fedespiga and Evil. First two members to set the lap time are very close to each other. You got an Alpine coming towards the line. That is Tiramisu. And then we got Essie coming close towards them as well. Whilst meanwhile, Shizou Ron goes quickest. I'm trying to catch on board with these guys. Fashion Gold is the next person across the line, the Alpine, putting himself up in P4. We also got Haas absolutely flying towards the line. I think that's Quistro. No, it was TVA Tijo who goes quickest with a 7.6. That is an absolutely astonishing banker lap time from Tijo. He is one of the members to watch. Of course, competing for Team Vele. They have been making some big steps into the scene recently as well, and the other team that's been making big steps is Virtual Intensity Racing. Chris Alat putting himself up there as well, and his teammate Leon invalidating that first lap time. Chris Romeo going up towards P3. He has put a good lap time in there as well, and besides that, mainly all people on either invalidated lap times or out laps. I was going to go on board with Juventus Racing Stefan, but he puts himself up in 7th place so far. These were pretty much all the first runs. And this season, of course, first race of the season, it's always interesting to see who is going to be quick, who's not going to be quick. Of course, you recognize some names from the last game, but you do not know if they're quick on this game. You might have done pre-seasons against them, but it's all track dependent, and people tend to improve so incredibly quickly nowadays around new tracks. There was another person that went up there. It is Enela Pepijn. He goes up towards P6. Also very close. You got a P6, 7 and 8 are within 9 thousandths of a second between each other, which is very interesting and very close. And Justin, meanwhile, driving a 51.1. That is a very solid lap time. I believe it was around the lap time that Fede Spiga drove. So he should be aiming to put himself at least in 4th place. Nono Espadas, meanwhile, puts himself firstly in P4, and then Justin puts it in P5. A prediction would have been correct otherwise, but it is P4. But I believe it is the Spaniards, Nono Espadas. It sounds pretty Spanish to me, and if it's not, then yeah, you got a pretty confusing name in that case. Oliola was on a lap time as well, but he has invalidated also, and I think that already rounds up the first couple of hot laps. Oliola continuing his lap time would have done a 0.80 as well otherwise. So the whole grid pointing out that it is still very, very close towards all each one another. And it's an interesting grid, if I'm being honest, because I saw the placements at the same time as you guys on Twitter, and of course you see your names, a few names pop out, but you do also realize that this is a grid in a tier where if you perform well here, you do get that promotion into an F1 or an F2 tier. And that is at the end of the day where everyone wants to be. You want to be champions, but you want to do it in the highest tier as possible. Let's hope we do not get all too many people promoted on an instant here, because I think they've genuinely done a fairly decent job with the current placements. Placements that have been done in time trial and also in Grand Prix mode. So it's interesting to see who is still going to be the quickest and who not. I've seen quite a few people supporting Niels here and saying that he is still sandbagging, a Talent Factory member in F4. I mean, it's not normally a place where you see a Talent Factory member, so I think he's definitely one of the people to watch out for. Evans, oh mate, your name is so difficult. So Evan Senchik saying that Fede is sandbagging as well. I mean, you've got these big names, of course, you have to discredit Ron from that list. Let's just remember, only there as an engineer, and pace-wise, he is nowhere near. Although he did drive for Joey Cotton in EML and actually did get the win there. But besides that, everything is seemingly fairly close. We've got FXR Adrien, which is the Spanish version of FVR, of course, by organized and managed by the big man Carlos Torres himself. He's a very big name in Spain, and he is producing some absolute talent, and Adrian will be one of them, and he's definitely a name to watch out for, I think, because the FXR team is always a very interesting one to watch. Meanwhile, Fede Spiga going up towards P9, finally by him breaking into the 7th as well. Just having to look now who is next to be crossing the line. It seems to be Asi, the FPR member, I believe, coming towards the line. 3 times improvement, the closest you're gonna see today towards an 8.001. Of course it can be close, it can be a 000, but I doubt that will be happening right here. Besides that, there are not all that many people on a lap. Besides Kart Racer, he was, I believe, F4 last season as well, and he had an absolutely amazing impact. It's kind of a shame that he did not get promoted. I'm expecting him to do well also, but you can only speculate in the beginning of a season. Kart Racer coming towards the line, and that is indeed the quickest time, a 7.578. He currently is the man on top and the man to beat, but will someone beat him? Via Leon starting his lap time now, I do believe, yes indeed, because he still has a full battery, and there are currently chants going on for Nono Espadas. He seems to be a very big name. Fashion Gold meanwhile going up towards P8, and an Alfa Romeo coming towards the line as well. I believe that Ron is also here to start his lap currently. Trying to see who is on a lap and who isn't. Nono Espadas also about to start his lap time. Normally you're able to do 3 or 4 runs in Brazil. That is why the whole field is sort of mixed together like a bunch of scrambled eggs. You don't know who's on a lap and who isn't. Chris Alat also about to start his lap, so we're going to get a whole lot of quick laps coming our way TVA Tigo about to start his lap time as well. So it's now a waiting game to see who will all be able to profit from that third round. Juventus Racing Robin is behind them as well. Just trying to see who's on our lap currently. You guys are making it difficult for me. And I'm just constantly scrolling more to people who are already on our lap. It is Sven, first person to set a lap time in the second run, and he only does an 8.6. That is fairly disappointing for a man who seems to have gone all out. Of course, you can't take the lap time from Leon seriously. A 17.2 must have meant that he invalidated early on in the Senna S's, which is not something that you wanted to see. Neil starting his lap time now as well, and behind him there is a Red Bull. It's a Red Bull of Justin, who comes across the line to also start his lap time. Boys, come on. Nono Espadas coming towards the line to set his second lap now. Must have made a mistake on the original one. Just about enough ERS to go for a full push lap right here. Chris Halat, meanwhile, going to the top, 7.518. He is now the man on top and the man to beat, but not anymore. TVA Tigo coming in to beat him, and Robin, who was right behind him, unable to improve on that lap time. So second time round, 3 people in the 0.5, Tigo, Chris Halat and Kart Racer. They're all in that order that I just mentioned them. All putting in a phenomenal lap time. I mean, I wouldn't even get anywhere close to it. It's a penalty, by the way, for NLR Pepijn after a collision with TF Niels. That is not something that you want to see. Maybe we will be getting a restart because of it, but I am unsure if that will actually be able to happen. But that is not up to me, unfortunately, to decide. Asi also starting his lap time, and Nono Espadas coming towards the end of a lap time. He is only slightly up, a slight improvement in P4. No, he doesn't improve on position, but he does improve with a 10th of a second. He is just controlling and stabilizing himself in that P5 spot, and a P5 spot around Brazil is definitely not the worst option, especially with these undercuts being so OP. You can definitely have a very good opportunity to go for that race win from P5 position. Well, we have a McLaren coming towards the line. That is Robin going for a second lap, and also he puts himself up there with a 0.5. Rear locks trying to get out of the way from the Alpine, with just Tiramisu, who started his lap dangerously close behind the McLaren. Let's hope that is not an impeding penalty inbound for the McLaren driver. We do have another Red Bull coming towards the line. It is NLR Justin, and he's improving by 2/10. Are we going to have another member in the 0.5 squad? No, he will be doing a 0.6 low. But NLR Justin proving his worth with Kart Racer, the two NLR teammates, again in the Red Bull, just like last season, proving their point and proving their speed and pace. We do also have a Ferrari absolutely flying towards the line. It is TF Niels, and is he actually flying, or is it just was it just a vision? He's not really flying. 7.9 is not the lap time you would expect from Niels, and you got 3 massive teams, it's Yasuo, P and TF, P12, 13 and P14. It is the underdogs currently in that case that are absolutely flying in perspective to any other members. Question in the chat from Paulinho: how can we join the PSGL leagues? Normally in the Discord you are able to sign up, although the current sign up phase has just been closed. This is the first round of the season, so you would either have to wait for mid-season sign-ups, which you can see when those open on the Twitter, which I believe is just Premier Sim Gaming, or I think if you type in PSGL on Twitter you will be able to find it. I will be looking for the exact ad quickly for you guys. The ad is Premier Sim GL, so if you find that on Twitter, they will make a tweet on when the mid-season sign-up open. You can sign up for this season still, and otherwise you will have to wait for the next season to happen, and then you are very free and welcome to sign up, and you might be able to compete in these grids as well. Currently though, everyone being in the pit lane, just waiting it out to start their last lap, and soon to be one of the fan favorites, it seems like, from round 1. Nono Espadas, first guy out on track. We got the Spanish flags being spammed in the chat here. He is the first man out on track and the first person to set his lap time. Would love to know what the Spaniards are saying, but unfortunately my Spanish is not so good. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of chaos. But the good thing that he is going out early is in case he makes a mistake in the center S section, which is fairly common, he is able to do another lap, save up his ERS and fuel and go for it again. But he will be sending it right now, coming towards the final corners. Here, of course, all being flat out. Opening the DRS zone right here. We're going to do a full lap on board with the Spaniards. There will be a lot of cars exiting the pit lane, so let's hope he doesn't get blocked all too much. He will be doing 2 out laps, which actually is a very good strategy. It's something that I used to do in the past as well, because you have, since it's such a small track, you actually have a lot of excess fuel to play with, so he will be doing another lap later on, so we'll keep the name in mind. So he is not currently on a hot lap. The first person on a hot lap though is Sven VD15. Absolutely riding the curb on the inside there. I'm not sure if that's quicker. I don't think so actually. Let's see if that results in a second split. Yeah, he's not improving. 10,000ths of a second slower than he used to be, and he's going wide there and actually invalidates on his lap as well. So like I said, now you have the opportunity to go back, to reset and to go again. VIR Olaf is then the next person on the solid lap, but he backs down from the lap as well. Let's then go on board with FXR Adrien, the man who sits in the esports team of Carlos Torres, the big man in Spain. I expect a lot from him. Adrien trying to keep it clean, keeping it tight through the middle sector. You want to gain as much as possible and not get blocked by traffic. The Ferrari there was still in a bit of an unfortunate spot. Unable to take the ideal line for Adrien, but he did fix it properly. Let's see what he can do in the middle sector split. You can see it right here. He's 1.5 tenths quicker. That means that he is fighting for a P5, for a P6. But we don't know how his last exit was. How will it be on the straight? Maybe he can get a slipstream. No, he cannot profit from that. But what will his lap time be? I predict a P5, maybe a P4. It is a P6 for FXR Adrien. He is the first person to open up these round of lap times. Now, I think Tigo is the next person on the lap. The current leader. He is barely improving. Let's see, can he improve still in that last sector? I do not think so. Tigo is unable to improve his lap time, and that opens the door for Juventus Racing Robin. He in third place now, coming towards the line. Can he make that improvement that he is looking for? On the line right here, goes to Paul. He goes quicker. Kart racer now. Unable to improve, maybe starting his lap time right now. Justin not improving, pulls into the pit lane. Let's go on board with Chris Hallett then. Is he able to improve? He is slightly improving. It's 1.5 tenths improvement, I think, actually. So it's got to be a fairly big improvement for the Virtual Intensity Racing member. Is he able to put the Williams car on pole? Flying IRL, flying in PSGL as well. It's a 7.384 for Chris Hallett, and he is currently the man to beat on pole. And quickly looking at it, I don't think there will be a lot of people that are able to match his lap time. His Virtual Intensity Racing teammate unable to really go a lot quicker. Niels going into P10 only for the Talent Factory member. Tiramisu Mio coming towards the line. He is slightly improving, but also not enough. Oli Olaf also not improving. So it seems like the lap time is sealed for Chris Hallett, because I do not think either Kart Racing, Tigo or Robin are going again. My Siri has gone off on my iPhone, but I think it is pole position for the Virtual Intensity Racing member. Chris Hallett gets pole in round number 1 of PSGL. Man, these solo commentaries, they absolutely try to fuck up my voice. I mean, we're in qualifying, I can already hear my voice trying to go, but it is the entertaining qualifying session that we were treated with here in PSGL. Just waiting out for Robin's car to be slotted back in the pit lane. I think actually Christo is a little bit after that. And once that has all been done, we will be going towards the results screen for qualifying. of course, being smart, not retiring their car, letting their opponents drive a little bit longer on the track so they cannot use the tires that they've done qualifying on. Used to be a very good strategy in the previous games when you had to start on the tire you qualified on, but now with all those options being open, it's actually a lot more viable to go and have a crazy spread of tire strategies. On pole position, starting this race, will be Chris Hallat. He is in first place. I don't know how to... I say Hallat, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Or name, a PlayStation name. Juventus Racing Robin in second place. TV8, aka Team Vele Tigo, in third. Kart races, Shazur, Ron, Justin, Adrien, Nono Espadas, Quistro, and Niels round out the top 10. Then you got Fede Spiga, Asi, Odiolaf, Evil, Fashion Gold, Tiramisu, Stefan, Pepijn, Leon, and Sven all rounding it up there. And the top 14 is within half a second of each other. It just shows how close this grid is. Of course, you do have the advantage of it being Brazil and time loss and spread being fairly minimal, but it is still a very viable factor in there. I will be taking a quick water break, and as soon as we get ready, actually there's no information lap. Damn, I was going to take my water break. Okay, well then it's now just a short wait until it starts. Seeing NLR, Nono Espada soon. I mean, always the teams looking out to see who is actually performing in these PSGL sessions, and it's now more and more people are actually starting to join in teams. Normally PSGL F4 drivers would have to fight to even get a single spot in a team, and now they're all in teams. Just waiting for the current players. I'm gonna have to check Discord because this is taking a little bit longer than my liking. Of course, the driver is now able to choose their tire. They have chosen the tire allocations, but they're now already on the grid. We got 5 red lights. And away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It is the Williams of Chris Hallat on the medium tires, having a better start than Robin on the hard compound of tires, and he leads up into turn number 1. Let's see, there's not all that much chaos back there. It's actually a very, very clean start. But oh no, there goes Fede Spiga. Only one victim from the opening lap here, or the opening corner, but it's still all very close in there. Multiple people going side by side. The closest one is Justin, making that move stick on Shazur Run, and Shazur Run now being under pressure from Nono Espadas, who's right behind him, but he is unable to crack into that gap and make an overtake happen there. Of course, this is a corner where you can send it in. Niels sends it absolutely into the rear end of Quistro, was trying to overtake Adrien. They're still side by side. I don't know what this camera angle is, but Niels still sticking it up the inside there, breaking way later, a bit too late even. Again hitting the side of Quistro there, and Niels actually has to yield the position, and Adrien making that defensive move stick. I mean, he wasn't really defending, it was just Niels 2-time driving up to the back end of Quistro up ahead. Chris Hallat meanwhile absolutely flying away up in first place, and they had an 8/10 gap there, but the Juventus Racing member was able to catch back up and gain back himself into the DRS. We got Asi and Fashion Gold, unfortunately 2 drivers with damage, and Fede Spiga able to continue. Let's also now quickly check the tire strategy. The whole field is either on hards or on mediums, and we do have Chris Hallat on the medium tires, and he will be able, hopefully for him, to drive away from the DRS train. That is what he needs to do. He needs to absolutely destroy his ERS button and to get out of the DRS range of Juventus Racing Robin. He's currently on 6/10, 7/10. Now he is just having to expand more and more, and once he gets out of the DRS zone, it's actually a really good strategy. I am surprised we did not see a lot of other tire strategies going around there, since the soft tires are also actually decent on this game. It is now a gap of 1 second of a second. Robin absolutely having to destroy his ERS button to follow, but goes slightly wide in through the final corner. And there it is, truly done and dusted, I think. Chris Hallard there, able to break himself out of that gap. Meanwhile, we do have a spinner. Further back, it is Juventus Racing Stefan, who has gone round, nearly bins it again on those hard sides. Once you spin there, they are tricky to keep a hold of. Robin now getting back in the DRS, 50%. Ooh, Chris Allard not even really burning all that much. The overtake is fully on now by Robin, trying to get himself back in the DRS zone. But besides that, it seems to be like there's a lovely DRS train forming up behind them. Who's El Capitano, boys? Rudy and Frankie want to go on board with El Capitano. I think it's Niels that they want to be going on board with. The talent factory member, unfortunately making a few mistakes earlier on. But he is still alive and doing well up in P11. Besides that, it's just all very controlled up in front, and there's not as much ERS burnage as we would expect for the drivers to see, and it does give an opportunity for Fede Spiga to get back in the DRS train. Papine though, who's already left a little bit of the DRS train as a gap there, and he is already flashing, so he must either have some wing damage or made a mistake. But he is not up to pace what you expected to be. Meanwhile, Team Vader Tigo going around the outside of Juventus Racing Robin and easily making that position count. He goes up into P2 now, and Juventus Racing Robin trying to now get back in the DRS there, saving up the ERS so he can get back up to equal ERS levels after he failed to be keeping up with Chris Hallard, who is in the lead on those medium set of tires. Still fairly close behind there, gaps of 0.2 of a second between Kart Racer and LR Justin and Robin. They're all just of course wanting to make a move, seeing that they are quicker, but unable to make the move. Just a waiting game now for all of these drivers, and they should all be somewhat happy to at least be in the DRS train, but they all want to make a move. Surely they want to be getting on, making those positions work, and especially Oli Olaf, who has started on those medium set of tires, unable to really fly up the grid order here and really make inwards momentum. He is on the medium tires and struggling to now make moves on these hard drives, which is a lot earlier than I expected those medium tires to fall off. Of course, they will be having an eventual drop off period, and afterwards the hard tires will be quicker, but it just shows how much of a DRS train circuit Brazil still is and always will be. But the beautiful thing of this track being a DRS train heaven is that you do actually have overtaking opportunities in the middle of the track. You just need to have the balls to absolutely send it, and since it is early on in the championship, you have two mindsets on it. It's one of them is we just absolutely send it and I do not care what happens to me. I gain positions from it, but it could go very, very wrong. But what will happen? I'm not leading the championship or anything. But another vision is, oh, if I just score consistent points here, I will be able to do very well this season. So we're now going to be able to see who takes what approach. Kart Race is taking a more aggressive approach, and in defense, Robin accidentally, or maybe on purpose, sending it up the inside of Tigo, and a defensive job made it to an aggressive job, an attacking job. It goes wide, Robin there, losing his momentum after the slight collision with Tigo there. A slight tap on the rear, because Tigo had to go back on track, and that loses a lot of time and positions there for the McLaren driver. He now dropping all the way back towards P8, and that's definitely not what he wanted to see, not the situation that he wanted to get himself into. Trying to now go up the inside here. That's a very ambitious move, and there he goes again. That is an absolute move that was never gonna happen. And then up the inside goes Oli Olaf. Kistros, the rear end is very much loved in that corner because it's the third time it's been hit in 6 laps time. There were winglets flying around. I do not know who's got damage or where some people have gotten damage. It might be Robin because he was did not have any grip really in that corner. Now collected again by the rear tire of Oli Olaf. And this whole train now has lost the DRS DRS towards the leading guys, and it is the top 6 that are now very much clear and gone. El Capitan, as they call him, Niels, going past Robin now. Robin trying to absolutely burn this ERS into pieces, trying to make that move again. Adrien picked up wing damage together with Evil and Leon. So there were 3 cars involved by that incident. Oh, got damage in there. There's another car going around. You have Niels being collected there because it was a pack of 2 by 2 going into that corner, and that never goes well. Ferris Spiga getting a 5-second penalty speeding in the pit lane, and he is the first driver to retire in his F4 season. I've been saying that he got robbed. That is his vision to think about. People are not happy with Robin in the chat, but at the end of the day, it's just full on racing. Also, I heard he got the audio glitch again, which is not nice. So we're gonna try to not go on board as much anymore, since I do want to be keeping my ears all good and alive. Niels, though, has dropped back even more. He has not made a pit stop. He must have... Oh yeah, he did get spun around. Boys, I'm having a brain fart. I'm really sorry. Niels, after that spin in P13, behind his Ferrari teammate Sven, was really disappointing in qualifying, if I have to be honest. But he seems to be able to cope a little bit better in the race behind NLR Papine, who's on 5% ERS for now the whole race, as it seems like. Robin making a move around the outside of ISG Tiramisu. I'm not known with the team ISG. It could be that it is not an F1 esports team and more focused on another racing game like GT7 or something else. But Tiramisu able to go around the outside on the ideal racing line, able to go back around the outside and back into that 9th position. Bjarne Leon now again in the pit lane. His team not fixing his front wing. Probably, I can quickly go on board actually to see if they are now changing that front wing. Must have meant that he did not press yes on changing the front wing. He is going in again, driver number 69 on that Williams car. At least he is not retiring, unlike other people. For the speaker, but yeah, he's having to continue now with the race onwards. Asi now also not driving the greatest of races, of course, being caught up in that lap 1 incident with wing damage. Now finally somewhat gets a friend to play with, but he has to watch out that he doesn't get lapped by Chris Alot, because he's absolutely still flying on those medium compound of tyres. But both the NLR boys who have now gone past Fijo as well, whilst all that chaos was happening. Both the NLR boys trying to work together and know that they will be able to reel back in the virtual intensity racing member once his tires start to drop off. Tiramisu and Robin fighting again. Robin going a lot slower than I anticipated him to be. Must have been some contact again involving Robin. Not that it was all his fault in any case, I'm never saying that. But yeah, still the big Spanish supportive side on Nono Espadas, who is seemingly very comfortable in this train, still got a lot of ERS to play with. Unlike Ron, who's got 44%, but he is the one that wants to make the move right now. Tiro, who dropped off from P2 all the way down towards P4. I can say all the way, but it's just a slight fall. He wants to make a move now as well. Ron opening up the ERS quite early on in the straight, but not committing with it. There goes Justin now, making a move on car race and putting Tiro outside of the DRS. Ron now has to keep note of that and know that he eventually has to go for it as well. Justin there, who has a lot more ERS now, burning to get past car racer. Unsure if the NLR boys are cooperating with each other. Both Red Bull teammates are fully able to do so and are allowed to, but they are now slowly trying to starting to catch up towards the Williams driver. Chris though, who's driven a brilliant first stint so far, able to get himself out of that DRS train earlier on and now make it fully work at Tigo, starting to fumble more and more under this pressure, and his ERS management, I have to say, is not ideal, because he is just absolutely sliding on those hard tires like he is karting on ice. It is not ideal for him. He now needs to do everything he can to stick within the DRS, but it's going to be a tough job there. Car racer, although not having a nice line, but a terrible exit there from Tigo. And I think that is him out of the DRS, and that can already go on board with Ron, because you know what's going to happen here. It's just going to be a simple DRS overtake. Ron there on the DRS button, knows that his competitor ahead does not have DRS. He opens the DRS, Ron's not going for it quite yet. He is quite hesitant And he is waiting back that little bit and trying to profit later on. Maybe he knows that Tigo has the better pace, but it doesn't seem like he will be catching up towards the NLR Red Bulls that are up ahead. And that is not ideal for Ron. Ron again, not on the ERS, happy to sit behind them. And Nono Espadas, it's like, come on Ron, make that overtake. I want to stick with the Red Bulls here. I want to, they are also your competitors. We are fighting for points. Once he nearly loses it, Nono Espadas, these Spaniards, they're absolutely trying to push as hard as he can to keep up there and eventually make a move stick. Robin, meanwhile, getting that first penalty of 3 seconds. While Tiramisu, the person he was fighting with, has also made a move now on VIR Olaf, and there is a mistake from Tiramisu. The big snap, and they're side by side now. Olaf trying to go all the way around the outside on the older mediums compound of tires. He actually makes the overtake around the outside stick there, and it's a brilliant move. A little bit of a squeeze there on the straight by Olaf, but he does make that move stick. That is an amazing overtake there by Olaf, profiting a lot from a mistake made earlier on. Robin trying to go up the inside there already. I would recommend you wait for a slight moment there, but it's a mistake again on the exit by Tiramisu. Was Ron meanwhile going past Tiro on that straight. He waited a lap longer than he should have, and I think he has now lost out on a very handy tool, which is called a DRS train. Meanwhile, we are all up. Oh, it's Robin going round. I don't know if there's contact from behind or he rear lock, but I believe that was a rear lock. And we are Robin losing a lot of time there. Actually, Sven also having to cut the Senna S's. And it is Olaf coming on top out of all of that. Tiramisu, Pepijn and Sven now are now having to chase the man on the older medium compound of tires. And it's again Robin involved in an incident. Now, I'm not the one to point fingers here, but if you get involved in 4 incidents in 12 laps, you might be having to think by myself, am I the person who is doing it wrong? And we are starting to get the sound glitch more and more. I mean, come on. Go. It's an easy fix, because you did it last game as well somewhat. Sound glitch being so incredibly annoying. It's a send there from Pepijn on Tiramisu, making it stick, doing the Hamilton versus Albon, but it actually had the good ending for once. A kart racer going past Justin on the straight. The Red Bull boys working together brilliantly, separately using and burning their ERS to get more and more up the field. Tigo now getting back up and Ron, they are starting to work together as well, but Tigo has so much ERS and he's just not using it, which I do not understand why. Tiramisu meanwhile in as well on the hards. Is this going to be a very early undercut, or is this going to be for a wing change? It is for a wing change. Tiramisu then probably with the contact involving Pepijn there earlier on, or he was the person that hit Robin into the rear. Either way, he is having to change his rear wing, go on a fresh set of medium tires, and he will have to try and make the end of this race. But it is going to be a lot more difficult of a job than he would expect it to be. Now going on board there, his train in P4 to 6 seems like the pace difference is the wrong way around. It seems like Nono Espadas is the quickest one of the 3 of these, and he is just having to wait. He also has the most ERS. He just can't do anything because those are the DRS trains here. He is now on the overtake. Nono Espadas will even try to make a move here. I think he will. He is sick and tired of waiting around in this group, asking me to retire in the pit lane. And will it be yellow flags? I hope that didn't stop him from making that move. Nono Espadas going from P6 all the way up to P4. I said it, he was the slowest guy. Gets a big nudge in the rear there by Tigo. That was not very nice from him. Around the outside now, going Ron. Can he keep up the grip there? He can. It is side by side now. Tigo trying to get back up around the outside of Nono Espadas, and he makes that move stick. Nono Espadas backing out, but he did accomplish his goal there, and that is going from P6 towards P5, and now he's got someone with no DRS up in front of him, but he has gone from 80% ERS to only 30% ERS, so there was a big burn that he had to do there. Also Tigo going from 80 towards 60% of ERS, but Nono Espadas now into that 5th spot that he needed to make up some ground, but it is a big time loss because the gap is now 3 seconds towards the guys up ahead, and Ass's AI car is not in an absolutely amazing place. You can see it there. Pulling off the AI car, still a little bit drunk. Still think there should be an option to retire in pit, and that you can actually just drive your car into the pit box, or that you can retire if you're in the pit lane and just let the car drive into the pit box. I think it will be a much better solution there. Justin meanwhile again going past kart race, and these two are definitely coordinating with each other, making some good DRS overtakes and not getting stuck behind each other. One of them is able to save ERS and the other one burns a little bit, and then the next lap they just swap it around and they just keep trying to bite into the lead of Chris Hallard, but it's not really working because Chris Hallard still has a 3-second gap. These are the moments where you miss a co-commentator, of course, trying to sip a little bit of water to keep your health and voice notes all good and ready to go. Oh, it's not good, the audio glitch. Oh, it's absolutely terrible. I'm extremely sorry for your ears. It's not something that I can control. Chris Hallard now starting to burn a little bit off of his ERS as well. But he is just controlling that lead that he has currently, Williams being the first and the last car. And I don't know how much Chris really wants to catch up towards his teammate because he would be lapping him then. But they both want different things in this race. Leon would love a safety car and Chris would absolutely hate it. I mean, at this stage he does have 3 pit stops towards the hard compound of tires. Ron is the first person to pick up a penalty in a really promising spot there. The 3-second time penalty will mean that he will get 3 seconds added to the end of his race, which will definitely not be ideal. You know, I will be closing down my own laptop for the chat since my battery of my laptop's dying and I did not grab a charger. So I'm having to quickly pull up you guys in the chat on my phone, so I still have you guys to be able to communicate with. And it's always nice, you know, to see your input whilst I got a Domino's ad and I still have my noise on. Don't cancel me, PSGL, sorry, it's not sponsored. Robin also getting another penalty and again losing some positions. Robin, oh, that seems like wing damage and he's going in the grass there. I think this is the end to Robin's race. Yeah, that's a big chunk of his ride and plate missing. Again, contact for Robin. 5th moment of contact in 17 laps. It is not ideal, of course, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Chris now losing 0.2 of a second towards the NLR boys behind him. So they're just starting to slowly creep into that lead off of him. Niels has closed down the gap towards Sven. I believe that was like a 4-second gap. He's done that well. Robin, the guy that retired, speeding into the pit lane and retires indeed there. Shame to see his race ending so early on. Trying to now keep in touch with the other guys. I think there's an NLR swap coming again because kart racing having a lot more ERS here. Still fairly far back. They're not stopping again on this lap. But Justin is just slowly starting to still catch in and creep in towards that gap. Kart racing being able to profit and save up all that ERS level. Dodo Espadas was also saved up a lot of ERS behind Tigo. So this is their priority currently, saving up the ERS. And it is also starting to become time for pit stops because we have reached the halfway mark of the race and I am expecting a few people to be coming into the pit lane anytime soon. Expecting Chris to maybe stick it out for like 3 more laps because you want to be on those medium tires for as long as possible. Meanwhile, Evo getting overtaken by Stefan, I was gonna say, but Evo actually the first person to jump into the pit lane. He coming in for a set of mediums, I would believe. Mediums, yep, fresh mediums. And the ETA driver going back out again. I believe he's actually in Juventus, but still has not changed his PSN. But until he has changed his PSN, I will be saying it's the ETA driver, because that is what he got in his PlayStation name. Bit ironic, since my PlayStation name is still wrong as well. But we will be just ignoring that. Francesco Lagon happy with the retirement from Robin, saying that that was karma. But Espedas is cooking. Who is letting him cook? Well, we have to see who is cooking. Tigo, first person to take the gamble from the leaders into the pit lane, slowing down his car right on time, even going below 60 kilometers an hour. It is not Silverstone, it is still Brazil. now heading into the pit box there for a fresh set of, I would assume, mediums. It is indeed mediums, and he's now going back out on track. Last game it was very easy, of course, always a hard medium strategy. I'm just having to gasp a little bit. I am sorry, my sleep rhythm is incredible. Whilst we got a spinner, it is via Olaf. He has probably hit the inside curb too much, and it just sent the rear end of his car around. It unstabilized the car there, and it's just, yeah, must have flung him around. But on the previous game, it was an easy hard, medium, hard strategy. And I think softs could be a variable option here as well on this track. Adrian, meanwhile, very close behind Sven. He will be looking to be making a move on the Ferrari driver as well in the all that beautiful Alfa Romeo. I mean, you can't hate an Italian car, and you can't especially hate an Alfa Romeo. But with the most ERS from the NLR boys is pitting first, which is interesting to me. This kart racer who thinks that the DRS or the pit lane entry point is about 50 meters before that. Red Bull driver now coming in for that fresh set of medium tires. Saving that ERS will be having nearly 100% of ERS, and I think he will be absolutely burning down his ERS to be catching up towards Chris Hallat. Now let's see where he will be coming out. Quistro is in the pit lane as well. He will also be in for a fresh set of mediums, and I think Kart Race will be coming out just ahead of the front wing of TF Niels, and that is correct. He was just ahead of him. Niels having a quicker ahead, and behind him Tycho though has to overtake Niels, has to sit a lap behind him. So the undercut that he was attempting to make to be getting past him is not going to work or unless he goes around the outside. Right here, that's going to be a very tough move. Need to respect space to the inside line around the outside on the better tires. He makes a move stick there. Absolutely incredible overtake by TVA Tycho. And now he needs to burn some of the ERS to get in the DRS train of Kart Racer. But Kart Racer, he just has a lot more ERS, so that's going to be a difficult thing for them to happen. Let's go on board with Chris Hallat. He is staying out, and Justin, the other Red Bull, is deciding to come in. He is now taking the hit. No, has spotted, and just Huron both staying out. Let's see, Justin also going towards the medium set of compound, I would presume. He is indeed. Undercut, yeah. The undercut is indeed incredibly OP there. But tire wear is playing a bigger factor than ever on this game, so it is a bit of a 50-50 game. Tycho now behind Kart Racer still, whilst Kart Racer is meanwhile overtaken Pepijn. It needs to be interesting because it's a massive undercut, and Justin is just only going to be slotting in ahead of Tycho, and Tycho will have to see, oh no, it's another Red Bull. It's a Red Bull and Alfa Tauri, aka the junior team, and then the Red Bull of the other one is just miles ahead. What am I going to do here? Oh, that's not nice to do. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, of course it's a junior and a senior team, but that is not something that should happen. And it's a big send up the inside by Tycho. That is the correct call to do. You see that it is esports teams working together, and then you just have to send it and make that work. Those sound glitches absolutely horrible. I am really sorry. Chris Hallat meanwhile into the pit lane. He goes. He has absolutely burned down his ERS, done the correct thing. That is incredible. He is now into the pit lane on the medium compound of tires. Will he be going towards the hards, or will he be risking the softs for 14 laps? It's a long time to be on the soft tires. He is going on the soft tires. Yeah. Chris Hallat on the soft tires, again taking the aggressive route, but there is Kart Racer already on the outside. Chris is going to be behind Kart Racer. He's going to be in the train of Justin and Tycho. Let's go on board with Justin, because I think Justin is going to be ahead, or at least side by side. There is Chris Hallat ahead of Justin, just still, and my voice is on the verge of going, and there goes Tycho up the inside, sending it, barging his way, being like, bonjour my friends, I'm here up the inside, and you can do nothing against it, and he takes P3 there. Chris Hallat though, on the soft tires, absolutely zero ERS on 13%, and he can't do anything with it. He needs to absolutely maximize the usage of these soft tires to get back involved with Kart Racer. That is a dangerous thing of the undercut, and Tycho might be able to now profit from this and overtake him on the straight, and then Chris Hallat will be absolutely useless. They cannot do anything. Justin though, absolutely very close. He makes contact there with Tycho, and there is the save line for Chris Hallat. He is not caught with the DRS line, and I don't even think Tycho got DRS because of it. No, he missed out on 1,000 of a second. The NLR Justin going for the move there, up in towards P3 now. He on 2%, 1% of ERS as well. Back into third place. TF Niels, meanwhile, coming in as well, and Nono Espadas has lost a whole lot of time compared to that leading group, staying out for longer and going for the medium set of tires. He will be able to gain later on with a better tire, but he does still have Suzu Ron behind him, who does have that penalty. Oh! Something happened there. Justin very far off and Tigo back up ahead. I think Tigo has just burnt his way just like last time. He bonjoured his way up the inside. And Justin, as a result of that, had to go very, very wide. Trying to have a little sip of water, but stuff keeps happening. Still 13 more laps to go in this race. Sometimes at a time like this I wish I had a co-commentator, because my voice is absolutely going. Justin getting back alongside and past Tigo. Probably Tigo having the RS advantage, but just letting him go there. And he does see that the person ahead of him, Justin, is flashing. As far as we were up in towards P5 because Adrian is into the pit lane. He was on 70 lap old mediums. He's probably going towards a set of softs going down towards the end of the race. Still no safety car, which I think a lot of people would love, was Adrian Milo actually goes towards the mediums, which is an interesting call. The only person going for softs are the VIR boys in Olaf and Chris Hallat. And the other VIR boy is probably going to be going in this lap to pit for that set of softs. It is nearly within a second though. Chris Hallat absolutely burning his tires. Knew that he got undercut. It was somewhat forced to go onto the softs. And now he is within 9/10 of a second. And you know what that means? Ding ding ding. It's time for DRS. And that means it is going to be a fight between Kart Racer and Chris Hallat for that eventual win. A pit stop of 1 lap earlier has made a 3.5 seconds difference pretty much between Kart Racer and Justin. And it's going to be interesting to see if Kart Racer will be backing down the pack now, since Chris is in his DRS. Just going a tad bit slower in the middle sector to, one, save his ERS a little bit, and to allow Justin to get back in the DRS train. So there will be a good result for both Red Bulls, but it is the question, how early on in the season do you want to be playing the Constructors game? Because it will be very early on, and you would still have a P1 and probably a P4, because Tigo now has more ERS still than Justin. But we'll have to see at the end of the day what is going to happen. At the end of the day, everyone looks at the driver standing and no one looks at the constructors. Olaf, going for that fastest lap. Someone who really has a lot of potential, but was unable to really show it this race because of incidents early on into the race. Meanwhile, the captain, Niels, going past Sven. I feel like I'm George Morgan now, calling with all these nicknames. The captain is a nickname that I can agree with. Probably captain of the Pro Club's Talent Factory team. And then up the inside goes Evil. And we got a change for the lead. I did not miss it because it would have. I missed it because it happened very late on in the straight. But it was Chris Hallat who was able to get his car up in first position, putting it just up the inside into turn 1 and making that move stick. We'll be interested to see. Will he try to go for a 1 second gap on these 4 lap old softs compared to 6 lap old mediums? Will he be trying to go outside of the DRS range, or will he be able to save his ERS now and hopefully defend it for 10 more laps to win the race? That choice is up to him now. I think we'll be seeing how much he will drive away in this middle sector. It's now 6/10. Let's actually go on board with Kart Racer here, because he got a better perspective from it, and we can see if he makes a mistake or not. Turning in a little bit earlier than Chris Hallat there for that corner. Chris Hallat having a better exit there as a return off of it. Kart Racer just slightly attacking the corner a little bit too much, but it is a 7/10 gap, and he'll just able to burn his ERS slightly, use 10% of ERS to fully get back in the DRS lane. Now no DRS, and able with ERS to absolutely close back up and then do that next lap all over again for 10 more laps, and then hopefully at the end, I need to make a move for his sake to go for that race win. FXR, Adrien, and Sven are meanwhile both trying to get past ETH Evil, all flashing up her heads. But it will be Adrien able to make that move stick. This is a beautiful angle that we have here. And Sven being able to put his car slightly up the inside as well. He was just trying to peek around the curtain to find that gap. Meanwhile, Evil makes a mistake. He loses the car and hits the front wing of Sven as well as his own. Big wing damage from Evil. And the question is if Sven has wing damage. Stefan meanwhile able to go past him. Let's just go. I think Sven's got... Oh, and he does also have an illegal overtake, and he has wing damage. Evil and Sven both having wing damage, and I think... Oh, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty here. It's looking very rough now for Sven. The incident that they both did not want to happen has unfortunately for them happened, and they are now, as a result of that, pretty much out of a race. Good race result. Now, he was staying on board here with kart racer. Got it between up to 2/10 last time round, and he saved 10% of ERS on that lap. So he is just controlling. Oh, and Chris Halat is really unable to do so. If I was Chris, I would be able to put my car behind kart race. I would let him overtake me and gain more ERS, so he has a fighting chance at the end. Because at the end of the race, his tires will be worse, and if he's leading the whole time with no DRS, worse tires and less ERS, I'm putting very slim chances on it. And kart racer, a man who really succeeded last season already in PSGL F4, proving his worth here already and doing fairly well. NLR Justin also doing very well because he has driven the 2.5 second gap out of Tycho. I do not know when or how that has happened. All I know is that it has indeed happened, and Tycho is now very far behind Justin. If anyone in the chat could inform me on when that happened, it would be interesting. Nono is catching up to Tycho, I'm reading here. He indeed is, and he does have a huge ERS advantage into his favor. But he still has to run behind him in that Mercedes. Oh my god, the sound glitch is absolutely terrible. There comes the McLaren of Evil out there. It's a terrible season start for the both of the Juventus drivers in that McLaren. 0 points combined for the both of them. Meanwhile, we do have other constructors doing better. Red Bull doing very nicely. Williams having a very mixed result currently. And Alpine also not really doing that well. And Haas currently being second with Tycho and Quistro. I have to be honest, Quistro is not a name I've seen all that much before, but I'm not disappointed by it. He's driven a very solid race, a no-man's race really. 8 seconds up ahead, 9 seconds behind him. He is just controlling the race, and a P7 is a very solid result early on into the season. It is just solid points, and that is all you want and all you need. I'm going to once again take a quick sip of water, and I'm going to have to prepare for the final 6 laps, because I have a feeling it's not going to be a calm one, and I will not have time for it then. And now we just have to see and wait what happens. 60% of ERS for kart racing. This is just what you call controlling. And he's just controlling the race. I want to see if Tycho has damage. Because he's just losing so much time for no real reason. And Nono Espadas is now realizing that P4 is more and more possible. 3-lap difference in tires. Of course, Nono Espadas are having that advantage there. And I think a lot of people in the chat would love to see that move happen. Big fan base there from the Spaniards, always. Probably one of my favorite communities, although it does have some bad sides. I do love the supportiveness of all the Spaniards, always in and around the community. But I think the main fight will still be here. And the chances are just looking more and more slim for Chris. He just can't really do anything. FXR Adrien, meanwhile, getting past Pepijn. up in towards 9th place and just slowly moving his way up the ranks and performing better and better and better. PRB2 meanwhile making that move past Sven, also Olaf profiting from it. Both guys on a pressure set of the soft tires compared to someone who's got wing damage. Because he still hasn't pitted, Sven. Someone who's got wing damage, 8 seconds of penalties, and yeah, it's just not really all that ideal for Sven. For Sven, I would currently box, set fastest lap, and then call it a day. Meanwhile, where's he? Leon's on a lap by quite a bit. He's got Pistro behind him. The Haas that's in P7 currently. So he is driving a no man's race really in that point. It's 70% for kart racer. Like if these are betting odds, like these odds are so much moving in favor of kart racer, and Chris has to open a whole book of tricks. He has to do some Harry Potter magic to make it happen here, to get that race win. The man who's led for pretty much the whole race, it's been one lap that he's not been in the lead, and the chances of him winning are looking more and more unlikely. Meanwhile, still Tigo losing slight bits of momentum towards Nono Espadas. And Ron with 90% also chilling behind there. I think Nono Espadas would maybe even want Ron to go past Nono Espadas and catch that gap up compared to Tigo. He is now starting to burn a little bit. Ron, I know he's got engineers looking into this stream. Ron of the Shizou boys. Normally he meant to engineer them. He will be doing the F1 later on because the 8 PM UK time zone slots have now started as well. So PSGL F1, 3, 5 and 7 I believe are all live now as well. They are currently in the qualifying session. But do not leave yet because the best bit is coming right here, right now. 3 laps remaining in this race. And I think we just have to stick it on board here for now. Just try to see who is making the mistakes and who is profiting from those mistakes. Because that gap is looking slimmer and slimmer. Just like Slim... Oh, he's going to make a really bad pun about Slim Shady, but we're not going to be doing that. Bad puns, of course, are appreciated in PSGL. Justin there having a huge snap. He's gaining a lot towards the front train as well. The pace is not high by Chris, and he is now starting to realize, oh damn, I need to be saving up my ERS because kart racing behind me on him from engineers, he's got 90% ERS, and I think kart racer, if I was the NLR crew, I would tell kart racer to make that move on lap 35 and absolutely burn it on the main straight, burn it on this straight, push like mad in the middle sector, burn it on the last straight, and then go for it. Late move there by Chris Halat. And it was nearly a wing on there for a kart racer. Dangerous late move there, and that might be going towards the steward's inquiries later on because it would profit NLR Justin's situation as well. But the first overtaking opportunity stopped by from kart racer has been stopped by Chris. Leon meanwhile, one VR member on the top, the other one getting a penalty. And Sven has indeed gone for that fresh compound of tires there, and he is right ahead of Pistol again. Pistol driving such a lonely and empty race. The only people that he has ahead of him are left cars, and Sven is also getting actually a blue flags notification, so he's not happy about or Pistol would not be happy about the Ferrari sitting there, but he's just slowly and surely driving away from him, from the problem that he has made there. And now we see the overtake from kart racer. Yes or no around the outside, maybe can be making it a lot more difficult for himself. Because Chris, oh, he put his wing up there, that is dangerous, but he makes that move stick. Kart racer now into the lead. 90% of ERS versus 35. Who's gonna go back at it now? Both not using a whole lot of ERS. Actually, kart racer is still around the outside, he has his tires. Chris Hallat there, unable to really do such a thing, really make a lot happen. And now it is kart racer who's the man in the lead. I really can't go on board because that sound glitch is absolutely terrible. But Chris Harland now into second place, and it is kart racer who's the one to control the pace now. He might let Justin into the game to give him an opportunity, but the RS difference is even too big for him there. Chris Harland will be burning absolutely everything on this final straight. coming up then probably, and Kart Racer will be as well. He will be able to match the exact percentage of Chris that he is able to burn off, because he knows that he has a lot more ERS if he has any engineers listening currently in this stream. Here we go, on the ERS for the both of them, but the Williams, he has DRS. Let's see who is gonna do what with it. If there was a final lap, Chris Hallett would not have made it, so that's why someone needs to do something now. It's absolutely on the overtake, burning everything. Is Kart Racer, and he sees Chris Hallett not close enough now. The gap from the ERS difference is now only 20%, but 30% is still a significant difference there. Now, coming towards the second straight. Who's gonna go for it now? It is burning again. Kart Racer absolutely draining that ERS, and they're now about equal. 10% difference now. And now, because of the middle sector, you're able to gain more since you're behind the car. So I think it's going to be fully equal coming towards the straights. So it's maybe not the best strategy by Kart Racer there to take that gap and take the lead so early on. It's a bit like cycling. You don't want to go in the lead because you are just punching a hole in the air for everyone else to compete and profit from. Ron also not able to go for a move early on. The captain going past Adrien. Niels going up in towards P8, but that is all not important currently. It was a bit wide on the exit there by Chris Hallett, and now it is a 7-10 gap, and I might think that this is a little bit too big. We're gonna go from this shot to see who's gonna win. It's Justin Woods really wide, making a massive mistake there in the final corner, but it is gonna be NLR Kart Racer who wins the first round here in Brazil in PSGL F4. Chris Hallett behind him, then you got Justin up in P4 with a massive mistake in the final corner. Tiro up in P4. Nono Espadas getting overtaken on the line by Ron, but Ron having that penalty, so he gets put back towards P6. Let's hope for the Spaniards here that Ron cannot remove that penalty. Then Quistro driving such a lonely race up in P7 there. The captain TF Niels up in P8. Pepijn in P9. Adrien now having a spin, or he's run out of fuel on the line. I was gonna say, because Pepijn was not even near Adrien. Adrien running out of fuel at the end of the day, getting P10, and Stefan slotting in P11. My voice is absolutely destroyed, you guys. Not being able to have a co-commentator has not done me any favors. ISG Tiramisu then coming top toward the line for P number 12. Oli Olaf in there for P13. I think it even became P14 at the end because of grid penalties and other stuff. Driver of the day, and a lot of Pepijn there. Not really sure if I do agree with that. And you see there, Kart Racer going from P4 towards P1. He wins in Brazil right here. An absolutely stunning drive from him. Chris Hallett leading for pretty much the whole race, but unable at the end of the day to convert that pole position and all those laps in the lead to an eventual race win. Justin up in third, finishing the podium positions. Two NLR boys in the top 3, two Red Bull boys in the top 3. So it was a very good race for the NLR boys. Tiro in P4. Nono Espadas, the Spaniard, the favorite, starting from P8, going all the way up towards P5. Then you got Ron Quistro, the Portuguese fella. The Portuguese league racing scene is going more and more into here, and I am absolutely loving it. He was the quickest Portuguese today, quicker than Tiramisu and Fashion Gold. Then you got two Dutchies in Niels and Pepijn in P8 and P9. You got Adrien in P10, and you got Stefan, Tiramisu, Fashion Gold. Oli Olaf and VR Leon, two VIR Germans in P14 and P15, and the non-German in VIR getting second place. We must show that VIR need to sign more people outside of Germany. Sven getting in up in P16, and the DNFs for today were ET8 Evo or Juventus Evo, Robin, AC, and OP Fede Spiga up in 20th and last place. Hope all of you guys enjoyed this broadcast. My name is Simon. Fully alone this time, but next week I will be having Brandon alongside me. I hope you guys all enjoyed the broadcast. I hope you guys will all be back next week. You guys can all now enjoy the F1 and the F3 sessions. They are fully underway now and nearly done with their qualifying. And I wish all of you guys a very nice day. Hope you can fully enjoy your holiday. Maybe you're still going on holiday. I wish you guys all a very fine day. Have a good one.